Welcome back from spring break, everyone. I hope it was great for you. As sad as this COVID-19's been, with tens of thousands of people dying and tens of millions losing their jobs, I still want you to look for the blessings that we can find in this pandemic. So many people are learning to slow down and absorb and appreciate the small pleasures of life, whether it be a hug or a smile of an unmasked person, just gathering in groups with your neighbors. For me, I'm learning to cook for the first time in maybe a decade. As someone who's eating out junk food every day, I've been making meals at home, and I hope you're finding some kind of new skill or a new normal that continue on after this lockdown quarantine ends. I know so many parents are spending so much time with their kids because school's been closed. They're finding they maybe should have been spending more time with their kids in the first place than so much time at their place of employment. But one of the really cool things I've noticed as a blessing this pandemic is the local dog shelter where I live, for the first time ever, is empty because so many people have adopted dogs. And I've read articles all across America where other dog shelters and dog pounds are empty for the first time too. And it got me thinking, as much as we are adopting dogs, are we adopting the virtues that the dogs we love so much possess? Are we being this enthusiastic, happy, loyal, loving, graceful creature that we see in dogs so often? And as I came home from this dog shelter, I thought about the doghouse. The doghouse is this figurative phrase we use where we send people we're mad at, who have wronged us or hurt us in some way, and we keep them in our doghouse thinking that somehow that punishes them, when in reality it only punishes us. Forgiving is forgiving yourself peace. You can never hold a grudge and feel whole. Any place you're holding a grudge is the place you're not holding love's hand. And we got to learn in this crisis, we realize life is so fragile and could end so quickly, that we need to make sure our life is full of love and we're being more forgiving and more kind and showing more grace. Because anybody we keep in our doghouse is a way we're keeping ourselves from fully experiencing the joy and happiness and love that life can have for us. And so I got thinking to myself, is my doghouse empty? How many people am I keeping in my doghouse? How many people am I still holding a grudge against, or am I still allowing them to hurt me still? It's like the whole scab and scar analogy we talked about before. You have a scab, you keep poking at it, you're going to hurt still. You poke it at too much, it's going to reopen and bleed. And what forgiveness does is it turns scabs into scars, where you still remember the wrong or the hurt or the betrayal that happened to you. But no matter how many times you touch that scar, it won't reopen. It won't bleed. It's healed. And we got to spiritually and emotionally, mentally turn our scabs or our scabs into scars. And we do that by emptying our doghouse. And so, as I thought about this idea of how can we empty our doghouse, one of the things you can do is, first of all, think of the worst things that have ever been done to you. And the best thing you can do about it is to love the person who did it. You do that through practice, and it's not easy to do. You start off inwardly thinking about that person, how they've wronged you, and replace the feelings of thought of hurt or pain with feelings of goodwill, with forgiveness, with generosity. Wish them prosperity and joy, and it might be hard at first. You got to fight your ego. Your ego says, hold on to that hurt. They've wronged me. That's your ego talking. You got to eliminate your ego, and we got to elevate love. And just send them thoughts. All is forgiven. All is well. And you do this again to heal your own self. I've never met a happy, angry person. We have to become a happy, peaceful society. And we do that by what we do in our own world. We always say our worlds create our world. The words you use for those in your doghouse are important too. It's time to set them free. And so I created a little poem, and you're all going to create your own poems too, about something different, called The Empty Doghouse. And it goes like this. There's so much you can learn from dogs. They say the dog is man's best friend. Yet we fail to emulate the virtues of dogs, forgiveness and love, for it's the doghouse that man must mend. We're so full of ego, anger, and revenge, as no vacancy signs light up from every rooftop. We fill up room after room with insidious resentment and wonder why our rage just won't stop. Any place you hold a grudge is a place you're not holding love's hand. Let me speak this message more clearly, so the freedom of forgiveness you'll truly understand. The doghouse is our purgatory, a figure of speech where we house those who did us wrong. But sending and keeping those who hurt us there only makes the hurt we feel prolong. Trying to get back or plotting to get even will never heal you or make you whole. -1 plus -1 equals -2, not 0. Mathematics shows us that staying mad doesn't heal your soul. So you must open the doors and the windows, letting all the past pain and grief be set free. To have the heart of a dog requires an empty doghouse if you want to lead with love and live happily. So my challenge for you guys today is open up these windows. Let everyone out of your doghouse. All the pain, all the forgiveness. And you do so, you'll become that butterfly we've always talked about too. Someone whose life is full of love. And because of that, you're able to love others more, make others feel more loved, and love other people more as well. And there's nothing more important than that. So once you think about some kind of virtue, some kind of thing you've noticed in this COVID-19 crisis that we need to add more of or we need to eliminate from, and pick your virtue and then turn it into a poem. The poem can be any kind of rhyme scheme you want, but it has to rhyme. It has to be an original poem like I did as an example for you. And find your symbol, find your poem, have fun putting it together, and then submit it to me on Canvas. I truly hope you guys will put the work in to heal and to be a more kind and loving person. There's no greater legacy than being that teeter-totter leader who makes other people feel more loved and love other people more. It's my highest hope for you. As we say every day in the class, be kind to yourself, be kind to each other. I love you all big, giant much. Make sure your doghouse is empty. Peace.